So today we're going to go over the top 5 cars we wish were fast. And I'd also like to apologize for the audio if there's a little bit of background noise. I have an external mic for my GoPro, but it wasn't working, so this is what I'm dealt with. So this list is going to be my personal opinion from the top 5 cars we wish were fast, starting at number 5, going to number 1. If you have a different list, make sure to leave it down in the comment section below. Everyone has an opinion, so don't stick a knife in our back for it. Coming in at number 5 on our list is the Fiat Abarth. So this car comes with a 1.4 liter 4-cylinder turbo that only produces 160 horsepower and 170 foot-pounds of torque. Now I know this car is small, it's only 2,500 pounds, which is pretty light, but that's still not enough. I don't know, I couldn't name a vehicle that would be enough in, except for maybe a street bike. I don't know about you all, but I think Fiat Abarths are awesome. I just hate the lack of power, and Fiat has amazing lifetime warranties, so modding them would be counterproductive as far as that goes. I know they used to have lifetime warranties, they may not still, but a 250 to 300 horsepower Abarth, I think would be awesome. It'd really make me want one more, I would say. They're just cool little cars, and there's not really anything like them, and they look sick. I mean, you can see some of these pictures that have been on the screen. Alright, so coming in on number 4 on my list is the Mini Cooper Coupe John Cooper Works Edition. Now these cars are sick little cars that just about no one knows about. They're coming in at about 2,700 pounds and they're front wheel drive. I wish they were all wheel drive. These cars come with 6 piston brakes. At 2,700 pounds, 6 piston brakes are overkill. But that's not the problem. The problem is the power. It only has 208 horsepower and 192 foot-pounds of torque. Now while that's a lot better than an Abarth, let's face it, that's not enough power to get up to speeds that 6 piston brakes would be beneficial. And you can see some of these pictures. These cars are awesome looking. I don't think Ryan likes them very much, but I think they look absolutely sick. I would just love to see a 300 horsepower, 350 horsepower Mini Cooper Coupe John Cooper Works Edition. I think they'd be awesome track cars, to be honest. You know, they're really small, lightweight cars, and they have awesome brakes from the factory. And I think they'd be awesome if they just had a little bit more power to them. Alright, so coming in at number 3 on my list is the Toyota GT86. Now, this car may be number 1 on a lot of your lists, but to me, it's too repetitive. You know, everyone knows the GT86's lack on power, and it definitely should make the list. But it's coming in at number 3 on my list because there's so many kits and everything out there to make these boosted and aftermarket support that it's not really that hard to get more power out of them. But they do have, I believe, 201 horsepower from the factory and about 151 foot-pounds of torque, and they only weigh 2,800 pounds, so that's pretty light. All these cars are light, and that's the only reason they can even get by with the amount of power that they're giving us, is that they're so light. But the Toyota GT86, their whole family, they're awesome cars. They're great track cars. They just need more power. I mean, every car needs more power, but they need it. They really need it. Alright, so coming in at number 2 on our list, it's going to have to be the Dodge Dart. Now that may be a surprise to some of you. I love these cars. I love them since they've been introduced. They just haven't had the horsepower. They have 1.6 liter turbo versions that have 160 odd horsepower. And those just, you can't build anything off of that. And then they have 2.4 liter 4-cylinder engines that have 184 horsepower, and for a naturally aspirated engine, I mean, that's not bad for a 4-cylinder. That's where the line stops. Like, that's where the models stop getting better. While this car is the heaviest out of the bunch, I think that's mainly why it needs more power. And a lot of people remember the Neon SRT4. Those were awesome cars. A lot of people get nostalgic from hearing that name. And I think people are itching for a Dodge Dart SRT4 with around, 280, 290, maybe even 300 horsepower. And I think it'd be an awesome car. It'd be a great starter car. And I just think it's really lacking in the power department, and I think a lot of people would love it, seeing how the Neon SRT4 was so greatly appreciated back in the day, even with its lackluster interior and average horsepower. I think it had 220. Correct me if I'm wrong. Also, these cars don't have hardly any aftermarket support. I haven't found any turbo or supercharger kits that you can buy for them. So that's another reason it made it so high on my list. So for number 1 on my list, it's to no surprise, it's the Mazda Miata. Now, this car is the lightest out of all I've discussed today. It's 2,300 pounds. It has a 2-liter 4-cylinder. I believe that's changed over the years. I'm not a Miata fanboy, so don't cut my throat. Now, the reason this car is number 1 on my list is not because it's hard to make them faster or anything like that, but more the fact that since this car has been introduced, it has struggled for power. The 2016 models only have 155 horsepower and 148 foot-pounds of torque, which I know it's supposed to be a track car, it's supposed to be refined and all that jazz, but it's just not enough. Everyone boosts their Miatas, and people still have fun with them, don't get me wrong. People still have fun even though they have low horsepower, you know, around hairpin turns and all that. But throughout their legacy as a Miata, they've been known to be slow, and they've been known to have little horsepower. So why not make you know, a higher horsepower version? I mean, you know, charge $4 or $5 grand more and slap a turbo on it and push it up to 270, maybe 260, and I'm sure it would be twice the car what it is now. And a lot of people love these cars. I might get a lot of shit for it. I just think they need more power. They're great cars as they are, but they just need more. And that's number 1 on my list. Like I said, if you have a top 5 list of your own, make sure to let us know what it is down in the comment section below. And that's all I got for you today.
We call that ballin'. Doing this is my calling. Flow is so appalling. My phone off and she calling. I'm like, yeah, what it do? Penthouse, man, what a view. Fall back cause I'm coming through with my whole team. They coming too, that's real. Too real. Motherfucker, tell me how you feel. I'm too good for my own good. I won't leak the album, I let it spill.